My friends, I'm back, and I want to talk about the Flamethrower. And I think, of course, I gotta talk about them in bugs. Everybody knows bugs are the best faction, but I want to start with talking about the stopping power. You do not take this weapon for stopping power. As you'll see, it has no stopping power whatsoever. But that was the first time I saw that stalker, and my teammate was able to shoot it in 2 hits after a very light breeze of fire by me. And here's another stalker, again, burned it a little bit. My teammate shot it twice, and it's gone. And all the gameplay you're going to see here, by the way, is going to be level 10. So the Flamethrower is a great high damage weapon. It's the kind of weapon if you want to just be the DPS class, kind of like you would a machine gun. But this is more so like I just want to quite literally see the world burn. I don't want anything to come near me. I just want to create space, and it's really good at creating space, as you'll see in this clip. Like, I need to get over to this impaler, so I kind of, burnt the ground, ran over to it, and then burnt the ground again to deal with these little chaff enemies. And then if you want to turn the impaler into some popcorn, then you can just sit there and then watch this beautiful popcorn effect when he dies. Like, oh, love that. So quick side note, you don't see a lot of HUD right now. We recently have been experimenting with turning our HUDs off, and we have a whole discussion on our channel about kind of a hardcore mode that we set up. So right here I have a bug breach going on, and it's not a problem at all. And that's one of the things I look for in support weapons and stratagems that I bring with me. I want to look at like how easy mode is this going to make the game for me. Not because I don't want to challenge, but I just want to know that I'm prepared. And for bugs, the Flamethrower is such a nice way to get prepared. Shout out to the gas that my teammate's using here too, because I do like the gas, but we'll talk about that another day. So for now, the Flamethrower is really good, again, about creating space for you. So here I'm getting surrounded, and in a normal situation, I would be dead here, but I'm creating some space, I'm clearing myself up, and if I had reloaded, that would have been a perfect moment. I would have torched those bugs, and it would have been over with. Instead, I had to reload real quickly, but thanks to this armor that has faster reload, which, by the way, it should work like this always. Please do not fix this arrowhead. If you don't know, the armor reloads faster all your weapons and not just your primary. The other thing, too, is like chargers can be kind of a menace sometimes when you're surrounded by things, and I don't know what happened, but that dude just ran away. He decided he didn't want the smoke, quite literally. These things, the Alpha Commanders, are probably my least favorite enemy from the bug side, by far. They are so relentless and annoying, but that one is dead. Okay, as far as the illuminate goes, this could quite possibly be the best illuminate weapon, especially with the forces we have now, but for the fact that it doesn't deal with these energy shields on the ships. If it dealt with the energy shields, I think that it would be the best, if not close to the best, and if at the bare minimum, it would be my favorite, because it deals with everything else so effectively. So, as a side note, if you're going to use the Flamethrower on the illuminate, which I recommend, I would also bring the secondary submachine gun pistol, because then you can deal with these overshields a little bit, take those out first, and then find a different way to deal with ships. Other than that, the Flamethrower really is just gas on these things. I talk about this a lot, but I think there's 2 tempos of fighting or combat when you're fighting the illuminate. And the first tempo is gauged by the voteless. They're more aggressive, they want to surround you and overwhelm you, so you kind of have to go fast and you want to mow them down. Think of like, mowing them down with a heavy machine gun, or torching them, for example, with the Flamethrower. And now the overseers, they want you to play a little bit more tactically, get some cover, slow down, line up your shots, hit the jetpack or hit the piece of armor off, make these really particular shots. Now, with the Flamethrower, it's like the honey badger. It doesn't give a fuck. Like, you just press the button and shoot things, and they melt and they fall down to the ground. Like, yeah, okay, you're still going to want cover with the overseers, like you see me taking here, but this one's not a problem. It takes a couple shots, and it's a couple seconds, rather, and it's gone. Same with this one, the melee ones. Those ones are honestly even easier with the Flamethrower. Now, of course, you have to be able to deal with the harvesters, and you can with the Flamethrower, and it gives you such a cool animation, but like I said, you have to take down the overshield. So bring that secondary submachine gun so that you can take it down, and then just go right underneath it and melt it and just watch it crumble. So it is nice to pair it with something like the Cookout that does have stopping power, because as I was saying before, there's no stopping power. But really why you're using the Flamethrower is to get out of sticky situations fast. And for example, here I'm surrounded by 2 overseers, I'm kind of crowded in a tight alley. throw some damage with the fire on them, and my dog deals with the rest. Here's another example. I died, I just respawned, and my teammate got me in a horrible position right underneath this harvester. But I was able to pick up my flamethrower and just go to work on this thing. Now, issue is, this thing didn't die for some reason. I don't know what was up with it, but it wasn't burning. It kind of was just stumbling. But that's not a problem, you know, just reload, get some cover, and then move back in there. And we're going to watch this thing crumble. We're just going to watch it. Boom. Now, a key strategy with the flamethrower is to actually burn the ground. You'll see me doing that a lot. And the reason you want to do that is you want the flames to stick on the ground, because it's more important that they stick on the ground than they hit an enemy, because if an enemy walks over the flames, it's kind of like a wall of fire, they're going to burn. So that's the best way to deal with chaff enemies, and in my opinion, the best way to use the flamethrower. If something walks on the ground and can walk through it, burn the ground and let it get multiples. The scouts are kind of hard to hit, and okay, we missed all our shots there, and we probably could have avoided the breach, but whatever. I was just eager. I saw 4 overseers, and I'm like, let me burn them. Please, please, please let me burn them. And I tried to take them out, but then Micho reminded me, hey, the scout just called in a ship. We gotta go. So, okay, we gotta pull out a little bit, and, you know, you would be surprised at the range that the flamethrower has, because if you know, the jetpack guys will fly away from you. So, they're kind of a menace to deal with, and you need some range, but the fact that we're using the flamethrowers to take them out in this situation is pretty wild. And okay, my guard dog is helping, but it's just supporting, and the flamethrower is still doing plenty of work. Again, here I'm going to burn the ground, I'm going to create some space, and I'm going to turn around and run away. Now we don't have to worry about anything behind us. Now, this was my favorite kill of this mission, by far. Me and my brother, both running up, both with flamethrowers, underneath this thing at this epic angle, just looking up at this beast and burning it, and then just watching it just fall like a pillar in Rome. Oh my. This game is so cinematic, it's incredible. Okay, we're going to talk about bots. It's the worst against bots by quite a margin, and has nothing to do with the damage. The damage is really good against bots. Bots, though, you get ragdolled a lot, and getting ragdolled in areas where there's lots of fire is not great. But remember, stop, drop, and roll, kids, and we're all good. Now, going against bots, probably the one most important thing that you need to deal with is tanks. So if this thing can melt tanks, then it's good by me. And it absolutely melted that tank. That one must have been damaged already because that was a little fast, but you'll see there's a couple more tanks in this clip, and it gets kind of crazy. More than the, excuse me, I was calling them tanks, I meant the Hulks. But you are going to see me melt a tank right here in a second. I didn't know if this was going to work, but I was like, whatever, I have to try it, right? So these things are not the menace. The menace is the other one with the cannon, and that might be a little harder to deal with a flamethrower. But as you see, the flamethrower does a ton of damage on this thing, like a absolute ton of damage. And that kind of leads me to believe that with the ones with the cannon, you might be able to kite them around a little bit and deal with them. And, you know, the shields things can be kind of annoying too. I don't know what they're called, but the shield devastators, I think might be their name. You can melt right through the shield, it's not a problem. Rule of thumb though, if you are going to use the flamethrower, try to avoid high ground and aiming down, because if you do that, you're going to ruin a really cool clip like an idiot just burning yourself to death when you could have had a cool clip for YouTube, but you didn't do that, so good job, kid. Anyways, here's another perfect demonstration of the flamethrower on bots. So I'm kind of at this ridgeline right now, so most of my head is obscured by this hill, and I'm able to burn things out, doing really good. But I'm really trying to find a good angle to burn these bots, which are kind of down below in a pit. And as you see, I'm going to struggle to find that angle, because you can't really be in the open against bots, which is what you want to do as a flamethrower user. And in hindsight, I probably should have brought the shield with me, because that would have probably helped. But with bots, you want to play around cover, you know. See, I'm dodging this pillar, I'm kind of like finding a spot, seeing what I can do, and I decide, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a high ground here, and I'm going to go for this tank. Oh no, there's 2 tanks. Okay, so I'm going to deal with the one up top first. And you don't want to have a flamethrower battle with it, because they will win, so you're still going to want to play back and kite it a little bit. But as you see, absolutely melted that tank. And here we go. Here's another example of why it sucks, because you just get kited into the pit that I was supposed to be standing above and burning. But, you know, you work with what you got, and you burn them while you can, and you try your best. But anyways, thank you, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned and let me know in your comments if you want me to try something else in the future. Thank you.